Have you ever felt like you were living on autopilot? I was constantly waiting for the next big thing to make me happy, the next vacation, the next promotion, the next big milestone. It was like I was sleepwalking through my own life, and it left me with this nagging feeling that I was missing out on everything as it was happening. Does that sound familiar? Like you're just rushing from one thing to the next without really experiencing any of it? That feeling is what led me to a quiet turning point. There was no lightning bolt moment, just a slow realization that I was outsourcing my joy to a future that might never show up. I decided I just didn't want to live that way anymore. I wanted to find happiness right here, in the middle of all the ordinary, messy, everyday stuff. So I started this little journey to intentionally look for joy in all the small places I'd been overlooking. I just made a commitment to start paying attention. It all began with something almost ridiculously simple: my morning cup of coffee. Before, I'd brew it while I was already scrolling through emails, my mind racing ahead to the day's to-do list. The coffee was just fuel. So I made a tiny change. I started waking up just 10 minutes earlier to turn it into a real ritual. I'd focus on the sound of the water filling the machine, the amazing smell of the coffee grounds, the warmth of the mug in my hands. I'd sit in silence, no phone, and just savor it. This small act of mindfulness grounded me in the present moment. It taught me that joy doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's just a quiet feeling of peace found in the first few sips of the day. Next up, my daily walks. Living in a city, I used to walk with my head down, music blasting, just focused on getting from point A to point B. But I challenged myself to start a new habit: joy spotting. On my walks, I would intentionally look for little things that made me smile. The way the sunlight filtered through the leaves of a tree, a stubborn patch of flowers growing in a crack in the pavement, the sound of people laughing at a cafe nearby. By paying attention to these sensory details, I started to feel so much more connected to the world around me. Research calls these micro moments of joy, and studies show that when they accumulate, they can build a more resilient and contented life. It wasn't about needing some grand hike in nature. It was about finding nature and beauty right where I already was. One of the biggest hurdles was finding joy in the things I really didn't like doing, like daily chores. Washing dishes was my absolute least favorite. It just felt like a thankless, boring task. So I tried to flip the script. I started putting on a favorite podcast or a great playlist and decided to treat that time as my moment to unwind. Instead of rushing through it, I focused on the warm water and the simple satisfaction of creating order from a little bit of chaos. This simple shift in mindset transformed a chore I dreaded into a surprisingly meditative ritual. It proved to me that my own perspective has the power to change my experience. Joy could be cultivated even in the most boring routines. It was all about the intention I brought to them. This journey hasn't been about creating some picture-perfect, aesthetically pleasing life. It's been about finding the beauty that's already here. It's about showing up for the small, fleeting moments that actually make up a life. True contentment, I'm learning, isn't found in the grand gestures, but in embracing the present, even when it seems completely ordinary. It all starts with just paying a little more attention. So, I have a gentle question for you. What is one small thing that brought you a little bit of joy today? It could be anything at all: the taste of your lunch, a song you heard, a nice text from a friend. I would genuinely love for you to share it in the comments below. Let's remind each other of the simple pleasures that are all around us all the time. And if this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into slow and intentional living. Thank you so much for being here with me today.